to another episode of Get With Us, the show written for, by, and about women over 40.
Okay, so I want to talk to you ladies about the sixth woman at the table. The sixth woman at the table for this episode, which was Social Media, the Marriage Killer, was Yvette Dukes. Okay, so this is what Yvette shared with us, ladies. Like most of you, I'm no longer interested in accessing his social media. I did at one time, but he was not willing to share his password. I've grown to be more secure in our marriage that it's no longer important to me, and trust that God is protecting our marriage. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that.
Yes.
The strength of a woman.
Yes, so much maturity,
Yes.
and the fact that she recognizes that it doesn't matter if you check it anyway. God is in control, and if you trust your husband, then all will be well.
Yeah.
So I really
Yeah.
love that, Yvette. And if you
love
want to
that.
be
Yeah.
the sixth woman at the table, comment on the episodes. We read every single comment, and we actually discuss those comments as well. So thank you, Yvette, for your comment. Looking for the next sixth woman at the table.
Well, today's topic or today's episode is going to be sibling rivalry.
Wow.
And we have a fun fact about sibling rivalry. It's interesting that it doesn't just happen with humans.
Oh, wow.
It happens with animals as well, such as birds. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Chirp, chirp, move over.
They'll push their eggs over for their family, just for their family. They won't allow their siblings to get their eggs. So it's really interesting. So it's not just us who experience sibling rivalry.
Right.
Yeah, so this is a real thing, right?
That is very
Wow.
That's interesting.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
So it's funny, like we're siblings, Janita and Donna, for those of you who don't know, we're siblings. And I don't feel like we really experienced sibling rivalry. Now, when I was sitting down processing why that could be, I was thinking because you guys are significantly
The lie.
older than me.
I think that's probably why. I think so. I can agree with that.
And nobody asked you.
Sorry.
So I don't have anything to contribute to that because, my siblings are so much older than me that they're
What you thought about his parents?
do tell. You guys were kind of mothers.
I think that it was because of the way our parents raised us.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I think our parents, they didn't show one like partiality. Yeah. So I think that kind of really did help in terms of that whole sibling rivalry thing.
Okay.
They made us all feel special in our own way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think that that's definitely, I believe that that's what helped.
It contributed.
Yeah.
I mean, the age was off. I mean,
I don't want to hear nothing about that because that's a lie.
I don't agree with that. We're all in the same household with the same parents.
Yes.
So I believe
And
that it was our parents.
I agree with you on that, Donna, too. It's
Yeah.
the way that we were raised by our parents. Our parents never made one of us feel better than the other or least better or worse off than the other. Like we all felt equally loved.
Yes.
Like nobody felt like they were being overlooked. So I agree. I do agree with that. How about for you ladies?
So I have two brothers.
Oh.
So
That's different.
maybe it's a little different. But yeah, I've never had that, sibling rivalry. I can't even think of any incidences where we were, battling. I mean, I have a younger brother. I think I was more like a mother figure to him because he was so much younger.
Don't buy into it.
So, but my brother that's 2 years younger than me, I would say that we had some, I don't even know if I want to call it conflict, but because my brother was more like my mother and I was more like my dad, those personalities, her personality is if you do something, that's it. You know, she's done. And my brother is like that, and I'm not like that. You know, I'm a forgiving person. I'm like, so I found like when we were growing up, because it was just him and I. You know, we had our chores and things to do, responsibilities within the home, and if he didn't do them or he got mad and we was battling with each other, I would always have to come back and say sorry so he could speak to me. He would literally hold a grudge forever, and I would always be like, okay, I'm sorry. Because it's just him and I. And when my best brother came, I'm like, we gonna be in here not talking?
Right. Yeah.
So, yes. So, I mean, we had things like that, but the rivalry part, no, I would not say, I don't know about you guys, but hit that like button and let us know if you had some, battles with your siblings.
Yeah, share the dynamics of your home, too.
I never had a problem.
That's good.
Well, okay.
Wait a minute.
I have 5 sisters.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
That must have been
sisters.
interesting.
And it was because I'm the last child of my mother's. And when I came, of course, all my sisters were really grown, older than me. My sisters next to me is 8 years apart, right? So everyone was, generally older than me. But I was home with my mom and my sister, right? Well, one of my sisters, she suffered from MR, but we were all home together. And my mom made me feel special because, unfortunately, you would think I have all these sisters like, that's so awesome. And they were off in the Navy or going to college or, or out the house, basically. So I didn't know sibling rivalry back then because when I came home, I was so super duper excited to see them when they came home for the holidays. When we got together, my mom made the holidays seem so special, which they were. Oh my God, that's why I love Christmas. But yeah, and it wasn't until we got older for some reason, like things have took a turn. They say because I'm bossy, because I'm the baby. Okay. Right? But I'm not bossy. I just like to get stuff done. I just felt it was my responsibility because now everybody is gone. Everybody moved away and I was still home with mommy and my sister. So it's like I had to take on that role of protection, of protecting my mom, making sure she was okay, making sure things got done. So I took that responsible role, but then they like, what are you doing? Why are you, you're just a baby. You don't come and tell us what to do. I said, well, I've already made out everything. We doing this, we doing this, we doing that. So they didn't appreciate that. I think they may do today because it was it was nothing to be fiery against them or to be mean toward them. It's just was protected. I was expecting a different outcome than what I've got from them. But I was hoping that they would understand that it was meant for all of us to be protected, that they knew in the back of their mind while they're out of the town and they live out of town that I was taking care of business at home, period.
See, that's very interesting because what about the sibling that is caring, so to speak, for a parent or parents? And you do have siblings that's not around, that's not too close, and that you have that burden of that responsibility to care for them.
Yes, I took care of my mom. She came and stayed with me when she was at home. She did her thing as long as she could, and then when she couldn't anymore, she came to live with me. I made sure she was taken care of. Doctor's appointments were made, follow-ups were made. So I took on that responsibility, and living with me and being with me again would make you think, okay, great, mommy's with Dee.
Right.
She's not in her home. She's not in her. But again, I did the best that I could for her, and she enjoyed every minute of it. And I thank God that I had the opportunity in the home and the finances to take care of my mother.
And you know what? Thank God for caregivers, really. Truly thank God for caregivers because that oftentimes is what seems to be a thankless job. I would like to, just give a shout out to Sarita and Donna because they are closer to our parents. My Sarita has our parents in the home with her, and Donna is very close by, and I don't drive. So the two of them, they kind of like tasked to do everything for our parents, and I'm so grateful for them. So I want to just thank them publicly for the work that they do. Caregivers don't always get the praise that they deserve. Thank God for caregivers. It's such a special and such an important job.
Yes.
And thank you for that. I wouldn't have it any other way. We actually moved to be closer to the family once my parents were getting older. We just moved recently so that, we're able to have the support because, just in what you're sharing, Dee, to not have that support.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yes.
what that would look like and what that would make me as the caregiver feel like. So as much as, I'm so appreciative of Janita being appreciative, if my siblings did not appreciate or questioned or challenged or whatever the contraction was in them when I'm trying to provide for our parents, because it's not just my parents. I'm trying to provide for our parents to the best of my ability. And if in any way, you can assist, I will be nothing but grateful. So, I want to commend you for, taking care of, your mother and making sure that she had everything she could have possibly wanted. But, if you wouldn't mind just sharing for those individuals who don't have that support like we have, how that kind of made you feel, and if there's anything that you try to do differently or you think you could do differently to foster a better relationship as far as that's concerned.
A better relationship with my sisters or my mother.
With your siblings.
I would just wish they were understanding that it wasn't for malice or it wasn't for, like again, to take the leadership or the ownership off them to make it seem like I was better than them.
Right.
I'm equal to them. And they know I adore them all the same. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, when you got to do what you got to do for your parents, you're going to do what you got to do for your parents. Even though me and my father had an estranged relationship for years, it wasn't until he was diagnosed with cancer and then he called upon me to help. And guess what I did? I dropped everything that was there for him as well and took care of him. Okay, so that's just who I am. When it came to my grandfather, I did the same thing. That's just who I am. I love to take care, nurture, and make sure you get the best possible life and the quality of life while you're here, right? And it's just like, and it's not like, okay, what I'm gonna do today? It's just like you get on that horse and you ride it, and there's no question about it. You don't think about it. It's not like, oh, woe is me, my sisters is not helping. It's like, no, okay, love you to death, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Mom, come on, we going to the mall. Come on, mom, let's go to dinner. Come on, mom, let's, we got an appointment today. You just do what you gotta do, and you just live your life in that manner.
Well, it all goes back to the word where it says, honor thy mother and thy father, and all of their days shall be long, right? So that's what we are called to do, honor our parents. And we only get one set.
Yes,
You only get one set, so you want to get it right the first time around. So that's so awesome what you're doing for what you've done for your parents, and you took that leadership really.
In that same vein, that's who you are at the core. You know what I mean? So
Nurturer,
you can't be coached into that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they better be thanking God for you. You know what I mean?
I wish they did.
I mean, and this all makes me kind of think about the story of Joseph in the Bible, right? And as we know, and if our viewers don't know, it's in Genesis, but Joseph he was the youngest as well as Dee and myself. And his father favored him, they said, and I'm only paraphrasing the story and giving it to you and my understanding of it. But the father favored him and gave him this beautiful coat, and his siblings were jealous of the fact that the father favored him. So what did they do? It was so much sibling rivalry that they actually sold him into slavery, right? So it just got me to thinking, around, does some of these things come as a result of your parents, and how your parents treat you? That makes your siblings feel bad about themselves, and now they want to get rid of you because you are that thing that's a wedge between them and their parents. So it just, as you're talking to me, that's what kind of came to my mind, is like, well, did your mom in some way, or maybe it was just perception of your siblings that, because we all live with these hallucinations in our own head of, what we think is being said and what's being done, and it may not even necessarily be true. But, if in some way your mom made you appear to be the special child or the favorite one, to the point where now your siblings look at you in a different way.
And that's the whole thing, because with my sisters, they're all 1 to 2, not even 3 years apart. So all 5 of them had each other.
Right.
So my mom felt kind of secure in saying they'll be fine.
Right.
But now I'm born later, 8 years later. So she's installing and making me feel special. She did say I was her favorite, and the girls know it. But it's not to say that they weren't either. Right. It's just the fact that it was the point that my mom was just building me up.
Right.
And she had already did that because I was alone, because they were going. Right. So she had to install some kind of security in me, and I thank God for that, because I'm secure that. Like, I'm not insecure. I'm not, self-conscious about anything. It's just the fact that I lived my life to the best, and just knowing that I was, close to her, and she was my best friend. She still is my best friend, and it's just even with them, I wish they will understand that too, and just become, I would love to welcome all of them. Well, me and a few of my sisters have reconciled, and just wait for one or two of them just to come around and just do what we're supposed to do, because I'm not going to hold, I'm living my life.
Right, and it's so funny that y'all say that. I was reading the article, and that is exactly why civil rivalry is created a lot of times, is because of the way parents make one child feel over the other child. That's why I'm so grateful for the parents that we had, because they never made me feel like that. I did not feel like that my mom or my dad loved either one of my sisters even more than they loved me. I just felt that we were all one big family, and we just all did the same things, and we just all got the same treatment for whatever we did, and that was that. So we did not experience that.
Well, she didn't that's the other thing. Since I was home with mommy, I knew it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh girl, Dee the favorite. Hey, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. It wasn't never like that. We all still felt, love. It's just the fact when she was with me, that I guess just her relationship and her bond with me was just that much stronger, because it was her and I. You know what I mean? And again, I know she loved all my sisters the same. We all got treated the same. They all got punished the same. Not me, because I was a bad child, but they all got punished the same. They got,
that was wrong with you. Now you didn't get punished.
But so that's one thing. She didn't signify to make them less important. It's just the fact that when it came to me, she used that as a tool to build me up.
And then probably in their own minds, like Sarita was saying, we build up these things in our own head.
Yes.
So they have a whole different story in their head. They're playing a different tape. They're playing a different recording.
Yeah.
Oh, Dee's there with mommy all the time. Mommy probably likes her better.
Yeah.
You can get all kinds of things in your own
And then, your mom was older.
Yeah.
She had you.
Yeah,
So maybe she
absolutely.
was able to provide more. You know what I mean? So they might have seen that, the fact that maybe you're getting more because you're younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, she could afford more because she was older and more established.
And
so
the
it's
wisdom.
a lot of things that
I think wisdom was the biggest thing.
Kind of not to say that they were, the guinea pigs for parenting, but the older you get, the wiser you get.
Oh, absolutely.
And you just start to experience life in a different way, and you recognize that, some of the parenting things that you may have done with the first, second, and third, I want to kind of curve that for
Tweak that a little bit.
Yeah. And think about it. It was 6 girls in the house, plus my mom.
That's a lot.
She had to work 2 jobs. You know what I mean? So again, it was not that she took anything from them. She tried to give them the best life possible. She moved us on a nice block, tree line block, and when they were little and young, and she tried to give them the best, community and neighborhood that was loving and caring. But again, one time when she came to me, she was already retired. So now we're home more. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, with them, they were off to college. They were out of the house. They had moved to travel the world, and she was working double. So so we got to keep that in mind as well.
The whole, you got the
Yes.
whole thing.
I was able to get, where they was,
So
And then also there's no instruction book to parenting.
That is
So parents are, for the most part, I believe, doing the best that they can. They are doing the best that
with
they
the
can.
information that you had at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the
So
help
at
that
the
you
time,
have.
you had this as a thought process, but as you kind of experience life a little bit further, so now that makes me think about how we parent. Let's kind of turn the tables on. We can recognize what our parents have done, and some of the things that we are appreciative for, and some of the things that may have been a challenge. But how does that affect your parenting style?
Well, I know for me, with my boys, just in thinking about that, I know that for them, whenever I go, like say for holiday or whatever, for Christmas, whatever, I try to make sure that I get them the same amount of gifts.
Oh my gosh, I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
I don't want them to
Because you
ever
don't
be
want,
able
yes.
to say,
Yes.
just thinking about it. Like, I don't want them to ever be able to say, well, mommy did this for me and she didn't do this for me, or whatever, vice versa. So I just want to be I try to be cognizant of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I just want them to know that they both
Yeah.
in a spaceship.
Right.
Yeah. It's no difference. I just want them to know that. I just want them to feel that. So that's really important to me as far as my parenting.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to be mindful of that. And I think that's really good to be mindful
Because, you're not parenting your children the same way because they're different.
They're different.
Their characters are different, their personalities are different.
Yeah.
What's consistent is I'm being a mother or being a father
Period.
to them.
Right.
But, we recognize that they are different and we do parent differently. I know that's a contention sometimes with my daughter. Because I have a daughter and 2 sons. So, it's a little different. She's a little bit more mature, give her that, like, what to do.
Yes.
And I do. I have to own that I may baby my boys a little bit more and have those high expectations for my daughter. I don't know if you guys do that. Hit that like button. But yes, I have been I'm guilty of that. So I do own that. But yes, different characters, different personalities. There is some difference. That shouldn't be the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate. You see that a lot. You see where mothers will baby their boys and raise their daughters, right? So that their daughters can go out there and fend for themselves. But meanwhile, you got your son here who's just relying on you for everything, literally sometimes everything.
Yeah.
So you see that a lot.
Hashtag baby your boys, raise your daughters.
There you go. Yeah. That's what you do.
And D, you have both as well. So you're on both ends of the spectrum. So what are you seeing as far as differences are concerned in your household?
Yeah, I gotta agree with Tanya. The girl is more mature.
That's
She's
because
more
you make her that
mature.
way.
And then she's the oldest too, so it's like, okay, we gotta make sure, but then again, like Donna, when it came to Christmas, one had, if I saw some lip gloss or some nail polish, now I had to go get him a card because now I gotta match it back up, you know what I mean? To finish out that Christmas gift, you know what I mean? So I just think that, and maybe with my son, maybe I did baby him because think about it. I think he got babied by everybody because again, my mom has 6 daughters.
So it was all
you know what I mean? It was all girls until the grandsons started coming. So the grandsons, I think for the most part, got more spoiled by my mom than by the mothers, my sisters, because now she got these boys that she never had.
That would make sense. That would make sense. And for me, I feel like it's the same exact scenario because Reagan's tasked to make up a room, clean it, get some order, you have chores. And my son, he's only 2 years younger, so there's no reason that he can't do some of this stuff. But I'm in his room making up his bed, clean up his room. So let us know what you do, and if you have a better way of raising boys,
let us know.
Put it in the comments, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But as you ladies know, now is the time. What time is it?
lightning round.
All right, so lightning round. My lightning round item of this week was random acts of kindness. So for my random act of kindness, I'm not sure how many of you know, but we are primarily all business owners here. So I like to go to different crowdfunding campaign sites and see someone who is nearing the end of their goal, who's getting close to the end of their goal, and then I donate so that they successfully reach their goal. Right? Because they're trying to launch their business, their project, their idea, and they could be, a very small margin away from the goal, and I could just donate the money to them anonymously.
That's awesome. I like that.
That is amazing.
And they can reach their goal.
That's good. That's
Wow. So my lightning round, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for so many things.
So many things.
So many
Do
things.
tell.
But you know what? I really have to say that I'm grateful for the friendships in my life because I'm not a person that shares a lot. And being a counselor, I'm hearing a lot. So I don't get the opportunity to, to share a lot. So I'm thankful for the friends in my life that allow me to be able just to vent and to get it out. It's very important to surround yourself with friends that you can trust, that you can talk to, and that are like-minded. So, especially at this table, you're my friends, you're my sisters.
We got you. We got you.
But you also pray for me. So it's not like we're going toe to toe with things that's wrong and what's happening. But you like, well, you know what? Let's pray about this. Let's seek the Lord on it. So I think that surrounding myself with like-minded individuals is very important, and I'm so grateful for this table.
We love you.
We grateful.
Y'all know I mess with this.
I'm messing with this.
Help me, somebody, please.
But that's what I'm grateful for. I love you.
We're grateful too.
And I was tasked to just to come up with something that I found, a podcast or some article or something on which helped to increase my faith. I've recently been watching a podcast by CeCe Winans and her daughter Ashley and her mom.
Wow.
It's called Generations, and it just kind of like bridges together the generations of women coming up. And I just found it to be such an awesome and amazing platform, and it's all spiritual.
Nice.
So it feeds my spirit. So I like that. If you ever get a chance to watch it, watch that podcast. It's awesome.
Awesome. So I kind of just want to do a quick recap of today, and then we'll close out with the scripture of the day. But I think the takeaway for me was the same way Joseph did in the Bible, where he forgave his siblings, and then he did actually get promoted to the highest position in the land. But forgiveness is so key.
Yes.
And Dee, you tapped into that as well as to how you're attempting to forgive your siblings, even though, you guys have had a rocky path. But forgiveness is key. Like your door's always open, you're always available, and you're always, willing to allow them to come into your space and let them know how much you love them and that there's, no hard feelings.
Yes.
So I think that's the takeaway message for this. There could be sibling rivalry, there could not be sibling rivalry. It could all just live in your head. But at the end of the day, we just need to forgive one another.
Yes.
Right? Life is short.
Yes.
And forgiveness is powerful.
Yes.
So I just want to thank everybody for coming together to get it together.
We got it together.